much for being a part of the 12th annual Reverse Rett LA event.
We usually call it a gala, but chances are you're not in a gown or suit right now, and we're not either.
I want to thank you so very much for all your support, not just this year, but every year. I guess especially this year because it is such a trying year for everyone.
We hope this time next year we can all be together at the Beverly Wilshire.
Now we know the world has been put on hold right now, but Rett syndrome hasn't.
Rett syndrome is a disorder that makes life extremely challenging. It silences you, and it traps you in a body that no longer cooperates with your brain. There are over 350,000 people, predominantly girls and women.
And as time goes on, life gets harder.
But thanks to recent scientific advancements, we see much brighter days ahead.
There is hope. A cure's on the horizon.
4 families host Reverse Rett LA, and every year we create a video that gives you a glimpse of what life is like for our girls.
What life will be like
when Rett syndrome is cured.
But first, a few words from Rett Syndrome Research Trust Executive Director, Monica Coonrads.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Monica Coonrads, founder and CEO of the Rett Syndrome Research Trust and mom to Chelsea, a young woman with Rett syndrome. Thank you so much for being here with us, and thank you to each and every one of you for all of your wonderful support. This promising and exciting research simply could not happen without the generous donations that you provide. I know that this is a challenging time for everyone, so your generosity is more meaningful than ever. The 4 families that are the co-chairs of Reverse Rett LA are paragons of dedication and energy. The pandemic is hard on all of us, but it's especially hard on families that have a child at home who needs care 24 hours a day. Despite these challenges, the co-chair families refuse to let COVID-19 stop them from organizing this virtual event and raising the funds that will keep our scientific momentum going. So it is with great admiration that I want to thank Heidi and Jonathan Epstein, Marcy and Rudy Valner, Stephanie and Andy Bond, and Jenny and AJ Tessler. Your love for your daughters is unparalleled, as is your commitment to changing their lives and the lives of everyone with Rett syndrome. I also want to acknowledge some especially generous sponsors this year. The 25,000 Discovery sponsors are Heidi and Jonathan Epstein, Magnolia's Hope, Julie and Ken Molis, and Marcy and Rudy Valner. Our $50,000 breakthrough sponsor is Circle of Confusion. And this year, we have a $100,000 lead scientist benefactor, the James and Eleanor Randall Foundation. My promise to these sponsors and to every one of you who supports our research is that your donations will be used with the utmost integrity and efficiency to advance us to a cure for Rett syndrome. I've always made it a priority to spend maximum dollars on what matters, the research. Since RSRT was founded, we've averaged 95% of our funding going to our research program. In spite of the pandemic, it has been a year of significant research progress. Our funded labs were closed for a period of time in the spring and the summer, but they're open now, and the research is moving full speed ahead. This year, your support is going to an especially important RSRT project, the Rett Syndrome Gene Therapy Program at the University of Pennsylvania. This program is headed by Dr. James Wilson, perhaps one of the most renowned gene therapists in the world. You'll hear directly from him in just a few minutes. I want to first give you a sense of the big picture of Rett research, where we are on our progress towards a cure.
Rett syndrome screams out for a genetic solution. Why? Because we know our target, MECP2. Because the brain cells don't die. Because of the landmark reversibility experiments. These 3 key facts fueled the launch in 2008 of the Rett Syndrome Research Trust. The research projects, tools, and resources RSRT has incubated have resulted in an extensive pipeline of MECP2 therapeutic programs. In 2017, RSRT launched a 3-year research plan, Roadmap to a Cure. At the start of Roadmap, there were 0 companies with MECP2 therapeutic programs. Today, there are 6, with more to come. Cure 360 builds on the accomplishments of Roadmap to a Cure for a full-on attack on Rett. Rett is surrounded, and we're closing in. You've helped us get this far. Thank you. Together, we won't stop until we have a cure.
I'm pleased to say that the results of Roadmap to a Cure are innumerable. Thanks to you and the other supporters, we successfully raised the necessary $33 million. That funding enabled us to launch or expand 15 therapeutic programs in 6 strategic areas. Our strategic approaches are not meant to be palliative. They're bold and they're targeted, and they're intended to result in a profound reversal of symptoms. Of these approaches, gene therapy is the closest to the clinic. Novartis, the second largest pharmaceutical company in the world, is proceeding with developing a clinical trial in gene therapy for Rett. A second biotech, Taysha Gene Therapies, has recently announced a Rett program. The company expects to file an application with the FDA to conduct a trial by the end of next year. Gene therapy is an approach that RSRT has been championing and moving forward for a decade. Both the Novartis and Taysha industry programs are happening because RSRT-funded researchers generated encouraging data. We are also funding 2 other critical gene therapy programs, one at UPenn and the other one at the University of Edinburgh. We also now have company involvement in the DNA and the RNA editing space. Our work has resulted in far more advancements than I can list here, but the fact that we moved from 0 companies to 6 is perhaps the most palpable indication of how far we've come. This progress has brought us to a new phase of research that we call Cure 360. The name is a reflection of the fact that we have Rett surrounded and we're leading a full-on attack. This requires accelerating our 6 strategies while simultaneously focusing on business development to ensure that the research incubated at RSRT moves into pharma. 6 companies is a wonderful start, but we can't stop now. We need biopharma to advance Rett programs in all of the therapeutic strategic areas. The cure will come from one or more of these strategies. Of that, we have no doubt. So the more shots on goal, the better. I can't overemphasize how important research has been and is now. You helped us get to this exciting point, and your continued support gives us the resources to build on the achievements of Roadmap to a Cure. It also allows us to leverage the financial resources that biopharma brings to Rett. On a personal note, my daughter Chelsea turned 24 just a few weeks ago. She struggles with the worst of Rett syndrome: seizures, scoliosis, anxiety, extreme muscle rigidity. And this is all on top of never being able to take a step on her own or to say a single word. I made a promise to her that I will not rest until this disorder is cured. And with your continued help, it's a promise I don't intend to break. 350,000 lives are depending on us. Thank you so much for being at our side every step of the way.
Hi, my name is Jim Wilson, and I'm the director of the Gene Therapy Program and director of the Orphan Disease Center at the University of Pennsylvania. And my interest is really in gene therapy for rare diseases. I'm delighted to be able to be with you virtually, the Rett community, to talk about the program in gene therapy for Rett that we're developing here at the University of Pennsylvania. Gene therapy is an area that I've been involved with for over 40 years with the goal, the dream of one-time treatments or cures of patients with genetic diseases. Gene therapy is all about how to transfer genes and get them in the right cells. The way we do this is something called vectors, and the vectors that are used primarily in the clinic came out of our lab a few years ago. We're trying to leverage that experience in other diseases, some of which are really remarkable successes, towards Rett, where the goal is to deliver the normal version of the gene into various cells of the brain to correct the defect right at its root. We have successfully demonstrated gene therapy. We're at really the critical stage right now to assure that we get the proper distribution of the gene and that it's safe. We're not there yet, but we are doing the critical experiments now. Again, I want to thank RSRT for their generous support and leadership and encouragement in us moving this forward. We're working as hard as we can. I know how important this is for you and your families and your children and your loved ones. Look forward to giving you another update next year. Thank you.
A cure for Hannah would mean that she can take care of herself one day.
A cure for Sadie means that she and I will have our first real conversation. And she can say the words that I have been waiting for 6 years to hear. Mommy, I can do it myself.
I can't wait for Gabby to tell me how annoying I am and that she needs her space.
A cure for Maggie means we can collectively breathe again.
I can't wait for Gabby to talk and have conversations with us.
And I can't wait for her to be an auntie to her future nieces and nephews.
For Maggie, a cure means she gets to make her own dreams come true.
I cannot wait until I can live on my own, go for a walk with my dog on my own, and do my own hair.
A cure for Hannah would be a day without pain.
A cure for Rett syndrome means that I can teach Sadie how to ride a bike one day.
I just can't wait for Gabby to have her independence.
I am really excited to hear all of Gabby's hot takes on different situations.
A cure for Rett means that Sadie and I will be able to share sister secrets with each other. I really hope Rett's cured soon.
My sister would play with me.
A cure would mean I could hold a microphone and sing like Taylor Swift.
I can't wait to walk Gabby down the aisle the day of her wedding.
A cure for Hannah means that we can finally tell each other our secrets.
We aren't at the finish line yet, but we are getting close. Will you help us make Rett history?
To all of our friends, to all our supporters, thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you. Thank you.
There are no words to thank you for your incredible support and generosity. We are so appreciative of all you do to support us and stand by our sides.
So thank you.
That was really good.
Good job.